Resuming. Weird World Order broadcast. Dynaphones connected. Initiating broadcast signal in
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies, gentlemen, and knights of the Nerd World Order, this is the Nerd World Order broadcast. I am the man that you call Dukes, and to my right, it's all about the...
Booyah, what's up? It's your boy Joe, baby.
And to my other right, weighing in at 178 adamantium filled pounds, coming straight out of Krakoa, Alfonso X-Man Flores.
Who's been messing up everything? It was Agatha all along.
Who made us watch her crappy show? It was Agatha all along. Yes, ladies, gentlemen, and knights, we are going to be discussing the hit Disney television show, breaking all records, the highest rated Marvel show in the history of Disney Plus. But instead, we're going to talk about Agatha all along. So let's get into talking about Agatha all along, which, you know what? I am so excited to talk about this show because it did so much for the MCU. It did so much for the progression of the MCU. It gave us some great characters. I'm ready to jump into this. So, Alfonso X-Man Flores, give us that positive ray of sunshine.
Agatha all along, it kind of went along the same vein as like WandaVision, where it kind of started off a little slow and like, you know, it's, you don't really kind of know exactly what's going on, and it just rolls into something completely different. And it was, I enjoyed the show a lot. It was fun to watch every week. I got a lot of laughs. It was so nice to see Aubrey Plaza. She's a little ray of sunshine, I'll tell you that right now. And as Lady Death, oh my gosh, perfect. You know, we're looking for the Scarlet Witch or some kind of, you know, sign of the Scarlet Witch. She kind of went the way of Mephisto, which was, you know, not at all, but it's kind of it's a continuation to WandaVision. And you know, I mean, it's not a spoiler anymore, but Billy, her son, he was after he was dispersed, he still had a soul, and his soul entered the body of somebody from Eastview, and he was actually able to come back to life. So this whole thing, like, you know, everybody's thinking that he's out looking for his mom, but in truth, the reality was he was looking for his brother. And you know, he was hoping that the same thing happened to him. So hilarity ensued.
By hilarity, you mean what, 9 episodes of WandaVision, or I'm sorry, Agatha all along?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So here's what I've noticed about Alfonso, right? As long as he perceives that a show has a degree of humor, even if it's not funny, like this show, he's like, well, you know what? It was funny. Come on, dude. It's got to be more than that. You know what I'm saying?
There is so much more, but it's so tough when I enjoyed it so much, but I know automatically what's going to happen is, you know, it's going to be shot down on the other side. And it's like, I'm trying to find a place to where like I can enjoy this and talk about my enjoyment without, you know, basically, you know, being looked down on. And it's like, it was fun. It was a good show. I mean, it's not for everybody. I'll definitely give you that. Mm-hmm. I don't know. What did you think, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I think, you know, we talked about the first 2 episodes. So like, I enjoy the witch part of it because I like magic type shows. So, but you know, Alan is right. It's like, it wasn't, I guess if they were trying for humor, it wasn't really like a ha 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 ha, but it was kind of like it's like when someone says something through a text and you just put LOL, but you're not really laughing. It's kind of like that.
The thing where you blow the air out your nose.
Yeah, I do. You do like a laughing emoji, but you're not really laughing. You know what I mean? You're looking serious reading the text, and you're like, "Yeah, let me send that LOL." That's what it's like. But you know, I enjoyed the show. I mean, it's better than Phase 4. I mean, Phase 4 was so bad. I don't know if that's the reason why I enjoyed it even more, because Phase 4 was so bad. And anything, like with I like magic a lot. So I love Harry Potter, like like magic stuff like that, like Lord of the Rings. So I kind of like anything that has magic in it. Should I play Warcraft? So I mean, I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, I kind of like the twist that it took too. With you got the whole thing where everybody, all these witches, like, we got to get on the witches' road. We got to get our powers back. We got to get on the witches' road to get more power. And it was something that Agatha had started up in the beginning, because she was, her son was going to be taken by death, but she basically made a deal with death to like let him live longer. And they didn't really say it, but you kind of got the gist of it, that Agatha was giving souls to death by getting all these witches together, making them think that there's this witches road thing, that they're going to get all powerful. She talks crap on them. They attack her. She takes all their powers, kills them. And then death has these souls. And, the big twist of it is, the son was like, it's not cool, Mom. Let's just not kill anymore. Let's not kill tonight. And as soon as he got her not to kill, death took him, and he welcomed the sweet embrace of death. He gave his mom a kiss goodbye. He gave her another kiss for, the kiss of death, basically. And I really wish they kind of explored the relationship between Agatha and death a little more, because were they like getting together after, she took the son? I mean, it's kind of weird the way they set it up, because they set up like they had this relationship that had happened before or after the son, and this way back in the day, so this whole witches road thing, it was interesting. It was really interesting the way, when the portal opened and they went down into the witch's road, and she's like, oh, this is kind of weird. And, they go back with the flashbacks and they show what's basically going through her mind, because, she made all this stuff up. There was no real witch's road. And Billy just, he was able to conjure all that. I mean, you guys did you find that interesting at all? I mean,
yeah, I mean, it was pretty much just like Scarlet Witch, what she did in Westfield. Like,
right.
She just conjured up, like, I mean, if Alan wanted to make an argument of the same thing as WandaVision, because it's kind of similar to what Billy did, I can see his point on that, but the big reveal where like he was like noticing that he was the one that created it, wasn't like oh, you know what I mean? It was like, oh, okay, cool. It was like, again, LOL, but to your point, I wish they would explore a little more with the relationship with her and death, but then also like how she get pregnant, like so I mean, I mean, I get like you had to do some episodes, for the each one had to do their own little thing for their witch trials, but I think that took away from like just her son and stuff, like oh, I'm embarrassed to see my son. Why are you embarrassed to see your son? Because you didn't protect, you know what I mean? So it's kind of weird in that aspect. Like you don't want to see your son, but what you did and you killed everybody after that's not what you're worried about. You know what I mean? So I know I'm sounding like Alan right now. I'm helping his arguments, but
no, dude. So first of all, let me say this. I might often come across like
as a hater.
As a hater who thinks his opinion is always right. I don't think my opinion's always right. I just think my opinion is right for me. Now, that being said, let me drop my opinion on all of you. So, you guys tell me if I'm wrong. They developed this relationship with Death and Agatha. And the reason why they didn't explore it or move forward was because they only did it for the purposes of having a lesbian relationship and having this tension, but it wasn't anything that amounted to anything at the end of the day. Tell me why I'm telling lies.
Well, I was thinking about that. I'm like, what if it wasn't actually a relationship that they had, like I don't know, romantic relationship? You know, they had a relationship where Agatha provided all these souls for her, and maybe that was it. Maybe we were reading too much into it. Now, I'm not saying that there was not a lot of gay tendencies in this show. Of course, there was. Um, a lot of people were really like behind it, like it was backing, the culture and everything. And it's just like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I'm just blind to it or just, to me, it just seemed like it was natural. There was a few things where I don't feel like any agenda was being pushed. I felt there was a lot of woman empowerment, but I definitely have a blind eye to a lot of things. I don't see color.
I'm okay with the woman empowerment. I'm okay with that as long as it's like not forced. We've had plenty of discussions about that, but to Alan's point, like when we talked about the first 2 episodes about it being kind of like a woke kind of like, which how they didn't explore the relationship validates what Alan says. They're just throwing it in there just to have like a lesbian relationship, just to have it in there. If you come from that aspect of it, of things, because you do the flashback and you're pregnant and then death is there and then you say, don't take my son away. And then she's like, all I can do is give you time. But there's no relationship established to that, if that makes sense. Right. So the question is, how do you get pregnant? And you said you created it on your own, but yet where was the man? And then at the same time, you said you had a relationship with death. So, you know what I'm saying? So like, with them insinuating that they did have a relationship, to Alan's point, then when we talked about the first 2 episodes, is it's pushed agenda. There's a lesbian relationship, which I think because Aubrey Plaza was so good, you don't really need to have that. Which, to what you're alluding to, Alf, is it would be better if Death approached her and said, they met that way, and she said, look, I can get stronger. If I kill these people, you can have souls, but at the same time, I want power. Now, see, that would make more sense than saying that they had a relationship, which they didn't even show anything in the past of them having a relationship other than them meeting, saying, I'm going to take your son, and all I can offer you is time.
Right. Yeah, no, that would have definitely made some kind of sense, because Agatha is a witch, unlike others. She gets her power from witches. She steals the power. She's like a siphon or a parasite or a succubus, right? But she just, how did that happen? It's like, does she have a spell that she casts? Is it a mutation? I like that idea of like death gave her this power. It's like, I'm going to give you this power, and you're going to get souls for me, because death makes deals like that. I think she had like one with Thanos, and Thanos was trying to like woo her by providing plenty of souls. Deadpool provided souls regardless, so definitely not as many as Thanos though. So I don't know. It would have been neat if they explored that it's not really supernatural, it's more celestial type relationship that death has. But yeah, it definitely was missing something. Your thought process on that actually seems to make a lot of sense. Just saying that alone would have helped this tremendously.
Let me throw an idea at you guys. Put on your catcher's mitt. Replace the death character with Mephisto. Doesn't it all make a lot more sense if you do it that way? Because Mephisto, and Alfonso, correct me if I'm wrong, he had something to do with the creation of Billy and Speed, right? So Agatha has this child. He wants to take the child. She says, give me more time. She makes a deal with Mephisto, because people make deals with Mephisto, and that creates the whole story. And guess what else it does? It introduces the actual origin of Billy and Speed. So that just makes a lot more sense if they use Mephisto instead of using death in that spot. What do you guys think?
Oh, that's definitely a good idea. I think, honestly, they're just trying to avoid Mephisto because people want it so bad. You know what I mean? I think they're trying to hang on to it, and they're just going to let it, they're going to hold that fruit till it's too ripe. And when they finally get, let it out, it's going to be probably not very good.
Yeah, that's not true. The reason why that's not true, because his first appearance was going to be in Ironheart. Which is like, that's what I heard.
That's right.
But that's Marvel again. They may not take from the source material, right?
Right.
No, I'll take what what I want out of it. You know, Billy's powers, Billy being gay. You know what I mean? Billy's body. You know what I mean? Like have being the strongest Scarlet Witch, but they only take what they want to fill their narrative on things.
Mhm.
And so, it would make sense to have Mephisto in there, but they're not. Why he's he gonna make an appearance in Ironheart? I have no idea.
None.
And it does,
Technological versus supernatural is just not a good mix.
yeah, which it would be perfect for this Agatha.
Mhm.
Oh, totally.
You know what I mean? So it's like your first appearance, you're gonna waste on that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll prove us wrong, but I'm thinking, why would you? This would be the episode. This series would be the. I was expecting something like I was hoping he'd pop up or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was wanting it because my comic book would have went up in value.
Yeah.
That's
Or
what I
maybe
was-
they just didn't add him because they already had the story written,
Right.
and then they decided, oh, okay, we're gonna use Mephisto. Maybe that. I don't know, but I don't know. If you do reshoots and re-editing, I think you could still add them in there. But I don't know, dude.
yeah.
I enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah, I mean, you guys enjoying it for what it was, I think that's cool. I mean, if you guys enjoyed it, you had fun with it, then that's cool for you. Man, there's I'm like, was a death character like? I guess the death character was necessary in order to have the end at the end of the show, but then at the same time, it feels like the Billy character was introduced. Like, I feel like what Marvel has done is they take care, like they're just trying to give us Young Avengers, okay?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Didn't nobody ask for no Young Avengers.
Mhm.
No, nobody says, well, when you're sitting around the comic book shop, right? You walk in the comic book shop, nobody says, yo, you know what I want to see? Some Young Avengers.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Mhm.
So why are they trying so hard to give us some damn Young Avengers? They gave us a whole damn show. They've given us several shows where they just throw a character in there just to have some Young Avengers later. Like, yeah, like at the the end of Hulk, you have Scar. They threw in Isaiah Bradley's grandson. It's like, Kate Bishop, the whole thing for her being there was just to have her in there. Ms. Marvel, same thing.
Mhm.
It's like, come on, y'all, just stop. We don't even want that. Like at some point, Marvel has to say, you know what? Why don't we give people what they want?
Yeah.
And okay, Alfonso,
Mhm.
how long have you been waiting for some X-Men?
This is the beginning of time.
But they're gonna make us sit through some dumbass Young Avengers, right? Before we get to X-Men. And don't
Mhm.
everybody wants X-Men.
Nope.
But here's Wiccan and he is powerful. Come on, dude. Just stop. Just stop, dude. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
done. I'm done.
It seems like they're setting up like how how like Star Wars, when George Lucas in an interview said Star Wars is meant for kids. It's not meant for adults. The problem is when you make those for kids, they are adults and they do become adults, right? So
Right.
I think them setting up is for the younger generation, but a lot of these young kids, like some of them don't care about this stuff, man. And all you have left is all the old school people like us that are the last ones left watching it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And you look at the way Deadpool 3 performed, dude, like it was for us pretty
Yeah.
much as like a fan service, and it was really good. And it made over $1 billion. Like at some point you need, like I've always said this, Kevin Feige needs somebody in the corner to look in and be like this, yo, bro, that's trash. You ain't got to do it in front of people. We'll pull them aside. Yo, bro, this is trash, bro. You need to redo it, bro. This is why it's trash. You know what I mean? And then start and show them the numbers. Like you can like pretty much what Ryan Reynolds did. Hey, you need to do this. No, trust me, right?
Yeah.
Because I think they said Hulk was supposed to be in there, and also Miss Marvel was supposed to be in, and Miss Marvel was supposed to have like a fight scene with Wolverine or something, but the way they wanted it was like I'm the powerful, you know what I mean, beating Wolverine, and Ryan Reynolds was like, no, we're not doing this. We're doing it this way because this makes sense, and this is what the fans are going to like.
Right.
Nice.
Of course, they don't like it. They get pissed off at Ryan Reynolds and stuff like that. And the girl from She-Hulk is pissed off. Well, you know what, dude? Who are you going to get more mad at? The dude that made 2 films that grows higher than what you did for your Hulk TV series?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're going to listen to that guy? No, you're not. You're going to get mad because your part got cut. Well, if it doesn't make sense, why is it going to be in there? And I think someone needs to be that person and fight his ear going, hey, bro, that doesn't make sense, man. You know what I mean? And honestly, bro, I don't see why it can't be Ryan Reynolds because, you know, next to him and Henry Cavill, those are the 2 that are really like source material. We got to do source material, you know, like, and I think it's done very well when they say source material. Look at The Witcher. I know you haven't seen Witcher, Alan, but it's really good. And people won't watch it anymore just because he's not in it. And and they're not even, the moment they tried not to do source material, he's like, I'm out. So, you know, the same thing with Warhammer. Like right now he's trying to do it. And they want him to do change it, do woke stuff like that. And he's like, bro, that's not what Warhammer's about. And he's a hardcore Warhammer fan, bro. Like
big time.
And Warhammer is all about like religion and fighting, and there are different cults and religions. You know what I mean? Like it gets deep into Warhammer. You can't go over there and try to change that because the fans ain't gonna respect it, and ain't nobody gonna watch it.
Right.
And I think that's where Marvel has lost. You know what I mean? Because it's like the beginning, the stuff that they came out with, like Iron Man, bro. I never bought an Iron Man comic. I never thought Iron Man was dope. They come out with the Iron Man movie. I'm like, damn, that's pretty good, right? And so all the characters that they created, they put so much time in it, made you appreciate it a lot more, right? Where I feel like they're still getting characters that aren't doing that well in comics in my MO, but they are not developing and making them better, and the stories aren't good. So you're not liking them as much as you did in the beginning when it's not working anymore. Now it's to the point where they're so popular, you want the big names to come in, to your point, Alan and Alf. You want X-Men there. You're tired of all these little B-list characters. Bro, I'm sure Daredevil is going to be dope. You know, I'm sure it is, but I don't want to see Daredevil. To your point, I want to see X-Men. You can't do an X-Men TV series, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like something, you know, especially like, you know, after, you know, the X-Men 97, when that season came out, was so good, bro. Like, you ain't going to build from that. Like, people are hyped up about the X-Men. Like, that's the time to strike, to come out with something else more, you know, put other X-Men that are going to appear in those TV shows that are coming out, or the movies, you know, like, but make it, you can write it in perfectly in there. Like, you're bringing back Leader. I don't care too much for Leader, bro. You know, Red Hulk is cool. You know what I'm saying? But unless you show up like an X, you know, like you could put an X-Men in there or something like that, like something, you know, no more of the like, let me do an end credit to hype you up, right? No, bro. Unless it has like an X-Men in there, I don't want to see it. Like, you know what I mean? That's what everybody's been waiting for. You've had the rights for Fox for what, a year, almost 2 years already right now, I want to say, and you have yet to do anything other than the X-Men 97. And look at how people showed up for that TV show. Yeah, like it's nostalgia and it's what they like, but there's so many X-Men fans, and that's a perfect opportunity to do something, you know, like, and if you keep putting out stuff that it isn't getting the general population to get in there and watch those, Agatha's not going to bring in old fans. Agatha's not going to bring in new fans. So it's like, the next one, yeah, I applaud them for not putting out so much stuff back to back. But after this, your next thing's in February, bro. So you have November's almost over, December, January, and February. So 4 months away, it's going to be Captain America. Nothing led up to it.
You know what I mean? Yeah, What If in December.
Yeah, but that What If in December never sets up anything in Marvel. That's their own little separate, you know, universe. Sure. You know what I mean? So it never really sets anything up. But, you know, Captain America, is that going to set anything up? You know what I mean? So it's like, it just isn't. It's just going to be like another, what seems pretty cool, is like an espionage type of story, but it's not going to set anything up. You know what I mean? And so where are they going from there? It's like nothing to look forward to. Like, it looks good, but what does it set up? You know, because you spoiled us to set things up, and you're not setting anything up for me anyways.
You know, That's the problem right there. Is they had a formula, right? They set things up. Things are progressive, and then it's not like they told us, like, oh, we're gonna stop building the universe. We're just gonna give you individual character stories that don't interconnect. If you told me that, it's like, okay, but they didn't. So now every time I watch a show, because I'm just going to speak for me because I don't speak for the public at large, but sometimes I do. But if they like, I expect things to interconnect. I want to be able to walk out of the movie and say, hey, this is this, and this is this, and this is coming. You don't get that anymore. You know,
Yeah.
like, okay, Alfonso, I sent you a picture. Billy has an X. Wicken has an X-Men symbol on the side of his
Costume.
uniform.
Yeah.
You know that ain't gonna amount to nothing. What do you think about that?
I mean, it's stitched in there. I mean, he is a mutant. You know, he's born with power. It's not just witchcraft. He does have some untapped power that it's telekinesis. You know, and he has a penchant for witchcraft. So why was it put there? You know, we'll talk. I mean, of course, you know, the designer wanted it there, but why was it there in the Marvel universe and canon? Is that going to be something where he's going to be associated with the X-Men later? Are they going to make Wanda an actual mutant when they bring her back? Because they say they're bringing her back, you know. Maybe that's just something that's kind of telling for that. I mean, or it's just a nice little Easter egg for somebody. But you know, he is a mutant.
I love rabbits, but I don't need any more Easter eggs. Okay,
Tricks are for kids.
Yeah, dude, like stop already with your dumb Easter eggs that go absolutely nowhere. Like, okay, Wiccan was never in the X-Men, right?
No, but he is a mutant.
So, I mean, and I mean, like, I get your point. He's a mutant, right? But you put that in there, but it holds absolute. It's like just why?
Yeah, it's fan service. That's what that is.
It's not. If you give me fan service and it pays off later, by all means, right? Ryan Reynolds managed to give us fan service in 2.5 hours, and it paid off from beginning to end. It all paid off. Every dumb joke that he told at the beginning and middle of the movie, that was the punchline at the end, even in the end credits, right?
Yeah.
Right.
This crap with Marvel just never pays off.
Well, you never know. They could put him in the X-Men. There's no reason why they couldn't. You know, they could do whatever they want because it's the MCU. It's not Marvel Comics. And I was thinking about too, like, you know, why tap the Young Avengers? I enjoyed the, like the first run of the books. It was pretty interesting. But I get your point with that. You know, the thing is though, it's like with comic books, you know, you've got all these characters that have been around for 60, 70, 80 years, and they don't age. But the actors that play them now are going to age, you know, and they're gonna age out, you know, like they tried to age out Iron Man, Captain America, and they're, you know, of course, bringing Robert Downey Jr. back for Doom. But it's like, realistically, what are they going to do? You know, they can have these movies going for years if they pass the torch, like Captain America did to Sam, you know, but and maybe Iron Man to Ironheart, so on and so forth, you know, Black Panther to Shuri. But they kind of have to, because the actors aren't going to get younger and people aren't going to accept somebody else doing that role because they're not going to do it justice. Like they didn't want to recast T'Challa. Yeah. You know, it's like, I get it. I understand, you know, because there is a certain loyalty to that. But, you know, if they had to make that choice, whether they're going to recast people, and are people going to accept it, or are they going to pass the torch? So they're going to need their Robins, you know, they're going to need their Buckies, they're going to need their Jubilees, because it's got to go somewhere. Even with X-Men coming out, you know, there's going to be a whole new X-Men, and people whined and cried about the X-Men movie so much, but they're going to be like, well, that's not Famke Janssen. Well, that's not Hugh Jackman. And it's like, well, you know, you got to start somewhere. That's not Halle Berry, you know. It's interesting. I guess with the MCU, at least it's going to give it a new push to where they can be like, well, that's the Fox universe. It's gone. You know, Ryan Reynolds might bring him out here and there, but you know what? After Secret Wars, it's toast. You know, but eventually those people are going to age out as well, and they're going to have to do something. They can't have the longevity that comic books have. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I mean, I understand. Is it too soon? Probably. Can they get more out of them? But these actors, at the same time, it's like, yeah, they're in good shape no matter what. But it's like that kind of shape to be in the Marvel shape, because they don't want them doing, like the muscle suits, like over in DC, like Shazam.
Yeah.
They want the real deal, right? I mean, look at Jackman's, his appearance from like the first X-Men all the way up until now. He's just like becoming the Rock almost, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But he's just getting bigger and bigger, and it's like their bodies can't handle it. I mean, what are there's going to be this huge steroid epidemic just because they're trying to do Marvel movies.
Well, I mean, if Vince McMahon taught us nothing else, it's that if it's entertainment, you can give them all the steroids they want, brother.
Mhm. Yeah. But at the same time, like, bro, just bring out the X-Men even if they're new. Just bring them out. Just bring out good actors. I think if like you brought in like a dope actor, I mean, if you listen to the fans, bro, like they said the dude, what's his name? The guy that played Venom would have been a good Wolverine.
Tom Hardy.
Oh yeah, Tom Hardy.
Yeah, Tom Hardy. Who was the other one that they said that would have been good too?
Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Daniel
actually
Radcliffe.
buy that a little more than I used to because I was like,
Yeah.
nah. But man, I mean, I saw him in that one show and I was like, wow, that's really not bad. That he
Yeah.
could bulk up and he doesn't necessarily have to.
And you know
because
what?
it's
You
all
could
about the
also
cause.
like. I know you probably don't care too much for it, but Zac Efron because he's so buff now.
Yeah.
Like he's
But-
huge. Like he's just like. Well, Zac Efron right now, and you watch that movie that
Yeah.
you like.
High
the
School
wrestling-
Musical.
Yeah, bro, he's a good actor too. You know what I mean? So he could be Wolverine. So I think if you just put in a good actor
Mhm.
that goes in there and reads the part well and brings life to the character, I don't really think people care too much about replacing people. I mean, like the fans cried about not replacing T'Challa, then the movie sucked so bad, then they're like, you know what, you should have replaced T'Challa. So it's like, you know what I mean? I think if the material, the source material, and the actor plays the part very well, no one cares.
Right.
That's the issue. If it's bad, then people are going to hate on it. But if it's good, what are you going to say?
Yeah, but when you're dealing with teams like this, it's like, you have one replace, not another.
Mhm.
It does. I mean, it's like they got to have some kind of reboot or like, the new 52 from DC
Yeah.
or Crisis or something, just because they've got to, like, even the X-Men, they had their Siege Perilous that they all went through, right? They
Mhm.
came out anew, and I don't know. There's ways to do it,
Mhm.
but then it's like, then they got to get back into the multiverse or something. And,
Yeah.
they don't want to do that again.
But look at Robert Pattinson. Like everyone would think he wasn't going to be a good Batman, and that movie was good. Why? Because it was like the source material,
Yeah.
written very well.
Yep.
And Robert Pattinson was really good, bro. And he had good actors surrounding him to bring the best out of him. And he really wanted to play Batman. And that's another thing. You have to get people that want to play characters that really want to play that character.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where I think like even if you get cast for a part, I'll go buy the comics and read the comic. Like the dude that's playing Punisher. Remember, he was just like, I'm gonna go read the stuff and I'm gonna go. And that's like an interview where he went into a comic book shop and he says, I know who you are. And he goes like this, here, read this comic, this issue, that's you, and then that's who you need to be. If you're not gonna be that Punisher, no one's gonna like you. I mean, and look, he plays a really good Punisher.
Right.
And it's because it's an actor that wanted to read the source material and channel that character. And then that's what if you want to get young actors, hey, I'm fine. You want to get a no-namer, that's fine. But just get someone that's going to appreciate the source material and be a good enough actor to come out ready to go. And the source material is huge because you could be like the best actor in the world, but if the script is bad, it don't matter what you do, as good as an actor you are, the movie's going to suck.
Yep. I totally agree with that, my dude.
Yeah, I mean, like, I can't even think of his name right now, but the guy who played the Mandalorian, he's big time actor.
Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
Big time actor. Everybody loves him. The girls love the way he looks and everything. He hid behind a mask, and it's like he put his ego aside that most actors have, and he was able to play that character and pull it off. Yes, sometimes it was a stuntman, but just putting his voice there was perfect. You got to put that ego aside. You got to be able to, trust the source material. You got to be able to work it. And like, you guys are right. Agatha is a character nobody ever talked about. For a while she was the nanny for Franklin Richards from the Fantastic Four.
Mhm.
She did this. She helped train Wanda a little bit, but she was always such a side character.
Mhm.
It's like, I guess I don't know, were they trying to do the same thing like they did with the
Mhm.
Guardians of the Galaxy or even Iron Man? Like you said, Iron Man was not a big deal, and Downey Jr. made it a big deal. When I first
Mhm.
heard that he was going to be Tony Stark, I'm like, that absolutely perfect. I could see the Demon in the Bottle,
Mhm.
cover, and I could see Robert Downey Jr. and it's just like his life paralleled Tony Stark.
Yeah.
I wasn't exactly happy with Captain America choice at first, but totally won me over, right? Because I see him more as like the Human Torch, where he's like, Human Torch is a jerk, dude. He's always messing with Ben
Yeah.
Grimm,
Mhm.
pompous, arrogant, pretty boy. And
Yeah.
the fact that they brought him for Captain America, I was like, oh, yeah, that's interesting, but won me over. Hemsworth at the store, I mean, he did a great job, and it's yeah, it's it's just weird that they tapped Agatha. I
Mhm.
understand it, fell off of WandaVision, which kind of made sense. They made her the villain in it, and I was actually pretty impressed the way this story and Agatha along paralleled WandaVision, and I didn't see it coming. It's like at the end and like it hit me, and I'm like, oh, it's kind of the same format. Well, that's
Mhm.
pretty impressive that it was right in front of me the whole time and I didn't see it. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. Also, everything you guys say, just I mean, I have to agree. It's like, okay, so there's all these Marvel characters, and I don't know. It's like Marvel gets caught up in the moment. Like for
Mhm.
instance, Steve Rogers the musical, right?
Loved it.
I'm sure you did. Did you find it humorous?
I
I'm sure
did.
you
I
did. Yeah.
did.
See,
I really wish I got to see it at California Adventure. I never got to. I'm super bummed about that.
I had a chance but didn't want to.
But
So,
I am a theater nerd too, so
oh, okay. Well, see, that's the thing, right? Like, it's a good bit,
yeah.
right? It's haha, that was funny, and I love that for anyone who loves humorous stuff. I too have a sense of humor. It's just not as well developed as most people. But that being said, oh wow, haha, that's funny. It's 5-10 minutes in a show does not equal out to, hey, let's make an entire show around this. Like, what it's like? Okay, this for most of the listeners of this show, it's going to be way before y'all's time. You know how Saturday Night Live used to have skits and then they turn them into movies? And with the exception of Wayne's World, they all sucked.
Mhm.
That's what Marvel does. It's a 5-minute idea that they try to turn into like a complete movie or show, and nobody wants to see it.
You didn't like Night at the
Mhm.
Roxbury?
No.
No, see, you just proved my point, Alfonso.
What is love?
I was like, Texas wife, he's having a seizure.
My favorite was where you're like, with the straightest face possible. I have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
I was dying.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, man. To Joe's point, everybody needs a Joe in their life, basically.
Mm.
Right? Someone's who's gonna pull you aside and say, like, don't do that.
Yeah. Dude, you know the thing too is like you could have easily have like the ending I thought was kind of like they didn't really land it, but it was all right, I guess. Like they're gonna go help she's a ghost and she's gonna go help out find his brother.
Mhm.
But you could have easily had ended it to where you could have teased Fantastic Four. It could have been a segue, like she still lives, a segue for her when she leaves and she ends up becoming the babysitter of their kid. Like, or her going in whatever dimension. I think they're coming from a different timeline. Like her getting trapped in a different timeline and being the babysitter because they know that they can go in a different timeline, however you want to do it.
Right.
But it would have been a perfect opportunity to do that. But again, Marvel doesn't want to do they want to take a little bit from the source material. It's like making your friend something to eat, and they're just picking what they want. You know, like your kids when they were small, you
Mhm.
make them dinner and they're picking what they want to eat, and they're leaving the stuff that they don't want. That's how Phil Marvel is with the source material. But then again, I don't even think of it. Well, Kevin Feige knows comics, so whoever you hire, like I would be like, hey, get close to the source material as you can, because those writers for those comics, obviously they know what they're doing. You know what I mean? Because people buy the comics and they read it. Why wouldn't you pull from that? Like, it's like, hey, I'm going to give you the answers to the test, and you're like, nah, I'm good, man. I figured it out. Like, bro, like, yeah, here's the answers, bro. It's going to tell you the answers to the test. Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good, man. Keep your answers. It's like, what?
I got this.
Yeah, facts.
That's my son right now. He's so funny
Yeah.
with his homework. I'm like, come on, dude, really? No, I got it, Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, what did I enjoy about this show?
The song.
No, I didn't. The Witch's Road song.
Yeah.
Okay, how many versions of that song did they try to shove down our throat?
At least 7.
Yeah.
You know, like Joe would call it doing a P Diddy, where they just try to remix crap over
Yeah.
and over again. Except
Yeah.
now doing a P Diddy has a completely different.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you take from that aspect, they're trying to shove it up your butt, like
Whoa!
the push narrative. Then that's the Diddy baby oil push narrative. You know, like don't throw it in your face.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I think that's just to get us canceled. We just got locked off the internet. I don't know.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't think you're canceling anybody anymore, bro. Like, I think that
I think
movie
all the-
has set sail.
all the cancelers got canceled.
Yeah,
That's
bro. That ship has set sail.
Did they realize that they're all being mini Karens?
Yeah, but like seriously, man, like I feel like if I don't like a song, giving me a rock version of it, giving me a country version of it, giving me a show tune version of it, it's like
Yeah.
it's almost like they needed to do a test run. Like they needed a test audience to be like, just one episode. Hey, do you like this song? No?
Mhm.
Okay. We don't have to do it 100 times. Okay. At some point, this show turned into like Broadway musical type of vibe. And I feel like that fits into a demographic that they may have wanted to go for, trying not to
Right.
get canceled by saying this. And I'm like, bro,
You
what
think
about
it's trying to do like the Steve Rogers play? Like, if it takes off, they can do like a Broadway play of that, or like a little. Maybe that's what they're thinking.
Something like
Yeah,
Disney
I-
California Adventure in that.
Yeah,
theater.
totally. The Witch's Road. They'll do like a walk through time with Agatha and the Witch's Road. Walk down the
Mhm.
Witch's Road. Then like they'll have some dumb songs over and over again. Oh my god, dude, that song was horrible, dude. You know?
Down.
Yeah. And then you're gonna make your son sing it, and that song's Cap. It's
Yeah.
like, I mean, they should have called that song Cap, not Cap the road.
The
Cap,
son wrote
here
the
we
song. It was
go.
his song.
So
Yeah.
much sense.
The windy road.
But let me ask you this, Alfonso. Did you like the song?
I did.
Did you like all 8 versions of the song?
Yeah, the rock version was a bit much. I like the song itself, and then I do like that, they had it where the kid was just humming along, singing along down the road, and it became a thing. And I did appreciate that. But yeah, I didn't need all the different versions of it. I did like the little jaunt through time where they were showing Agatha in all her different outfits and all her different centuries doing her thing. That was kind of fun.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think what I liked about the show.
Aubrey Plaza.
Nah,
Mm.
you guys can have that one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I mean, using a Joe analogy, all my burgers are double doubles. So, so yeah. Yeah, I mean, what'd you guys like about the show? Joe's put on the spot. He's like, go ahead, Alfonso.
I enjoy like I like the magic part of it. You know what I mean. I keep saying it over and over again, but I like
Yeah.
anything to deal with magic. I think that's kind of cool because you don't really see that much of it. So like I think that's why I like Doctor Strange so much, even though the second one kind of sucked.
Mhm.
It's just it could have been better. That was such a disappointment. And again, that's Phase 4, but I digress. The magic aspect of it, I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
I did like the magic in Doctor Strange. To your point, other stuff sucked, but that part was very like when he was doing spells and stuff.
Yeah,
that was cool. That was
And they had the Crimson Bands of Sidorak, man, and you get to see the Sidorak god who basically creates the Juggernaut, man. So Agatha all along, I had a good time with it. I thought it was interesting. I liked a lot of the little aspects of different trials that they went through. The one where the one witch got to kill, the Salem 7. That was pretty neat. They had like their little, basically, there's characters that are going to be killed, that were chasing around. They were super powerful and they were scared, they had the fear and she was able to take them out. So that was pretty sweet. I like the, they're throughout the trials, the one where they were like in the 80s. And I don't know if you could tell, but Billy was dressed up like Johnny Depp from Nightmare on Elm Street. I thought that was really cool. Oh, yeah, he was. I'm telling you.
okay.
Man, that just reminded me. I helped a guy today, and I wanted to tell him he looks so much like Robert Englund, but I thought he might have been a little upset with
me. You don't want to do that, bro. You don't want to do that.
But he did. I was like, oh, 1, 2.
Wow. So let me ask you guys this, because as you're talking, one of the things that just really annoyed me about the show, and this is a problem I'm having with a lot of shows right now. I don't like a single character. Like normally for me, I have to identify with a character. When I find a character to identify with, I then like the show and I follow the show, right? All these characters were annoying. To me, it was almost like someone just said, oh, we have to check every box. So we have our Asian witch, we have our black witch, we have our Jewish witch. Oh, we have our gay man witch. Oh, we have it's like really we just have to check every box when we're building witches now, but they all had they were all annoying. Like they were like none of them. I win the Asian witch, like when her mom basically was like, oh, I made this song for you or some crap like that, which apparently she didn't, because Agatha's son made the song. So where'd that come from? Explain that, Marvel. But I didn't like any of the characters, I would have liked Daff more had she not just been sort of like a, hey, this is my gay love interest for no reason. By the way, I think that being gay is awesome. Love who you want. So I'm in no way implying that being gay is not the best thing since being straight. But at the same time, that would be like if you took a black character and just put him in there to say I'm a black man and I'm in this movie show. And it'd be like, come on, bro, stop. I know what you're doing. Okay. You check the box. You just check the box. But anyway, so
that's Hollywood. That's Hollywood.
It is, bro. And it's just so annoying.
But things are gonna change.
Nah, won't.
Yeah, well, bro. It's all coming, bro.
You'll see, bro. You'll see, man.
I gotta tell you, I like the older lady, with her story of how she was living outside of time. It was almost really reminiscent of Loki, the way he would pop in and pop out different times throughout his life. So she was living her life and she was just out of sequence with everything. And then it finally all came together at the end. I like that. It was almost like Pulp Fiction, the way it was shot out of order.
Yeah, but you ain't trying to see no old lady, bro. Can you make it younger? You know what I mean, dude? Hey, every time I was like, oh, they too old, man. They too old. But you ain't gonna say nothing about that, bro. She old, man.
She is
you know
old.
what I'm saying?
I'm not trying to keep her around for 4 or 5 movies,
bro, Alan was like, I'm not trying to keep her on for 4 or 5 episodes.
She wasn't really around for 4 or 5 episodes. Nah, she made it long. She made it, yeah.
What about one character that I did kind of like, but then they killed off, and I don't know if they brought her back, was
Oh,
the
I know you're
that
talking about.
70s mom.
Yeah. Yeah, I think everybody liked that character
Kitty.
the best. Yeah.
Yeah, she was cool.
Yeah.
Oh no, she's dead.
But not a
'Cause
witch.
Oh, she's comedic relief, but we have too much comedic relief. But she's good
Which was
comedic
none.
relief.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's kill her.
Yeah, and she was better.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool with her, the way, like, I don't know if you guys remember in WandaVision where like her and her husband were over at Wanda's house for lunch or something, for dinner, because the guy was Vision's boss.
Mhm.
And he starts asking the hard questions. So Wanda, inadvertently makes him choke, and he's choking on his food, and she's laughing, and she's like, "Oh, quit it! Oh, quit it!" And then during that thing where she was all swollen up, she was saying something like, "Why would you do that, Wanda?" Or something like that. So it was like mentioning what was going on in that other show. So I thought that was a nice little connection.
Yeah.
Wow. That just flew right over my head, bro. I didn't catch. I mean, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
Like what you said made sense, Alfonso.
right.
But when I watched the show,
Yeah.
I didn't catch any of it.
I didn't catch that either. And then somebody explained it on TikTok. I'm like, oh, it did. How did I miss that?
Oh, I gotcha. So it was an Easter egg that went absolutely nowhere.
Yeah.
Good job, Marvel.
Mhm.
I got enough rabbits in my life, Marvel. Save an Easter egg for someone else.
Yeah, bro. Like put that back in the black hat, bro. you need me coming out when you reach in the hat to come out and you go, no.
So we're nearing the end of the episode. So Alfonso, do you have any interesting facts that we may have missed?
No interesting facts, but I do have a final thought. And when I say
Okay.
final, it's a final thought.
Hmm.
Nicholas Scratch was underused. I mean, he was a pretty powerful character, and they made him nothing but a little skipping boy. And it's like he should have been the final boss, the big bad.
Hmm.
But I digress.
So as I throw out a final thought here, ladies, gentlemen, and knights of the Nerd World Order, here's what I have to say. Every show is not for every person. And I understand that my taste in shows can sometimes be limited to fight scenes and the occasional dialogue. And so I know that when you try to have a degree of character development, maybe a complex story, and you miss horribly, but at least you're trying. If you like an attempt at a good story and an attempt at interesting characters, then you should attempt to get through like 3 or 4 episodes of this show. Because you might be able to. So give it a try. Joe?
Yeah, I concur. It's the best. It's better than Phase 4.
And so with that, this concludes this episode of the Nerd World Order broadcast. So until next time, ladies, gentlemen, and knights of the Nerd World Order, I am NWO.
We are NWO.
Nerds redefined. Booyah!